have given a name to my pain. The Batman.
Always waiting for some Batman to save you.
It's simple. We kill the Bat of Gotham.
You don't really think you'll win, do you? I'm Batman.
You are listening to episode 126 of the Batman on Film podcast. If you want and need more of Batman on Film, please visit our website at www.batman-on-film.com for more Batman content, from comic book reviews, videos, Rick and Bill talking to each other, and a whole lot more. And if you want to get some Bat goodies and be a part of what we're doing at BOF, please join us on our Patreon page at patreon.com/BatmanOnFilm. We'd love for you to partner with us as we champion more great Batman and DC films, for that matter. My name is Justin Kowalski, and with me today is Rick Shew. Say, hey, Rick.
Hey now. I'll get the obligatory hey now in there for Bill.
Goodness. I'm trying to lose it, and you bring it back, man.
I bring it back, man.
Bring it back. Like that. This is BOF, man.
You're like the Justice League digging up Superman, dude.
Oh my gosh. Oh, you had to go there. All right, let's clean it up. And also, I want to bring on one of our site contributors. He is reviewing comics for Batman and Film, and he's been on a couple of shows. Mr. Eric Holzmann. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Yeah. All right. I'm doing good. I'm glad you're here, man.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back on. It's been a while.
Yeah, I found out 30 minutes ago you were going to be on. I was excited. Plus, we are like geographically represented. We have East Coast, Texas, and New York.
That's wow.
California.
Wow.
Yeah.
East Coast, West Coast,
Texas.
and Texas.
We're on 3 time zones, gentlemen.
Texas. I like that Texas is just claiming all of Middle America. There you go.
Right.
Tejas.
Just like a Texan would be. All right. So today's episode, first off, hold up. We didn't do that. Batman on Film, authoritative, definitive.
Give us an East Coast one, Eric.
Give us the East Coast.
What, Dadgum?
Dadgum original.
Well, forget about it?
Yeah, they wouldn't say dadgum. That's the thing. They wouldn't say dadgum in the East Coast.
Forget about it.
Well, I meant East Coast accent. Anyway. Moving on.
Authoritative, definitive. Hey, I'm walking here. That's what I wanted. What are you looking at, you Mama Luke?
You talking to me?
Come over here with your Batman talk?
You talking to me?
Yeah, I'll give you a Batman right in the face. All right. So
this is so off the rails.
I know it's already the best show ever. All right, so this is our Batman Day episode. Today is Batman Day, and we hope that you all have a good bunch of plans to celebrate the Dark Knight and all the things that he's done in his almost 80 years of living on this earth as a character in our hearts. So all over the world, actually, there's Batman Day things going on at comic shops, and Barnes and Noble's partners with Warner Brothers, and you can go and pick up special issues. And I think they're giving out Batman White Knight #1, like a special edition of that. So
yes,
don't give that to your kids.
No, don't.
Right. Like, hey, what's going to be for the kids today? Not the Batman Day stuff. So, but DC Comics has put out like their, some essential Batman Day reading, guys. If you guys want to know, they want you to read Batman Catwoman, the Wedding Album. I guess there's a deluxe edition that's going to be available for purchase. So
yeah, they have a digital download kit too. I saw that.
So go to dccomics.com for that. And they have the Dark Knight's Metal Deluxe Edition. So if you want to get in on the beginning of that story, that was crazy. And then there's also Batman Volume 6 will be available, which is Bride or Burglar. It's kind of that chapters leading up to the wedding issue. And then they have the Preludes of the Wedding, which we reviewed those on Batman on Film. And then they're reissuing Batman Dark Knight Master Race, which was Part 3 to the Dark Knight Returns trilogy that Frank Miller's been writing. And then you have the Court of Owls saga, and they have for the kids, finally kids get some comics. How about that? Batman, A Lot of Little Gotham, which was a real fun book put out by, it's fun, dude. I bought them for my kids. They used to do them on Tuesdays as digital downloads. It's by Dustin Nguyen and Derek Friedolfs. It's fun. Some fun stuff. And then the White Knight, like we talked about. So there's a whole bunch of things you can go to your comic stores. There's some signings. If you actually go to dccomics.com, they have a page for Batman Day where you can kind of click, see if there's artists where they're going to be. Like in California, Jim Lee's going to be out here signing stuff. And so fun stuff. But so I wanted to get into something a little more closer to the heart. And so that's why I think it's great because, Eric, I feel like you are a good guy, and I think you have a good heart, and you really want to help people. And Rick probably needs to hear about how to be good. So that's why
this is true.
This is true. So on this episode, I really wanted to kind of talk about like what does it mean to be Batman, to be a Batman fan. One of the things that Brian Edward Hill, who was writing a stint on Detective, and we had him on the show a few, like maybe 5 or so episodes back. And he did this thing, Be Like Batman. And what he was doing is like, hey, if you contribute to this Be Like Batman campaign, we're going to give money to these kids at a hospital in Colorado. And we're just trying to help them out, trying to do something that's like Batman. And so got me thinking, like on Batman Day, like it's good to celebrate and fun and watch movies and stuff. But what could we do as fans of Batman to be more like Batman? Maybe we can celebrate Batman, but by being like walking in those boots. What could we do to be better humans? I don't know if you guys have any. This is an open conversation. If you guys have any ideas.
Well, it's such a great question. And how do we live up to Batman, right? I know that tomorrow, I'm a parent. I have a 7-4-year-old, well, a 6-year-old. She's about to be 7 anyway. But we're soccer games and all that tomorrow. We're gonna watch Lego Batman, which is great because my kids love it. It's like the one thing right now that we have at the house that they can watch and really enjoy. But, there's a whole bunch of clothes and stuff that we need to donate. I think tomorrow would be really cool to get the girls in their Batman shirts and drive them down to there's a variety. There's a Goodwill place. There's a variety of different places that we go to and donate and let them get out of the car wearing their Batman shirts, carrying all the clothes and the bags and putting them up in the trucks themselves, or at least having old dad assist them to do that, and explain to them that we're doing that on Batman Day for a specific reason, because we want to help these kids out that are less fortunate. And it's something Batman would do. I think that's going to be a really cool thing for us. I know that we're kind of planning on doing that anyway. And now that it's Batman Day, I want to tie it into that. And I know my wife was going to be completely on board. Let the girls wear their Batman shirts or their Batgirl shirts, whatever. That's up for debate what they are. They kind of argue back and forth because they're like pink and blue. And my oldest says it's Batman. But whatever, it doesn't matter to me, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I think
DC Comics is like buy them all.
Sure, I'm gonna incorporate that trip to the Goodwill store with some good Batman mojo.
Oh, good. That's good. So, Eric, you have any ideas? Like, what's it like to be a Batman? Like, let's take the punching of faces out of the equation, because the heart of Batman is really to make life better for those.
For me, and how I would answer this question is, to me, Batman is committed to a cause greater than himself. So any kind of cause you undertake that helps people, just commit to it. Give it 100% and do it. Just go and continue. And whether it's what Rick is doing with his family, or donating your time to like a homeless shelter or a soup kitchen or whatever the case may be, do something like that every day. And just commit to it, because Batman, I
was gonna say, and you know what? Look, don't just do it one day. Maybe make it part of like your life. And I think like we look up to these characters because they have virtue, and there's parts that are like, oh man, he looks cool. He wears a cape. He's got ears. He does all this cool stuff. But there's a part that draws us to, hopefully, fandom's in a weird spot right now where it's super toxic, and people are. They're the most unheroic, like, people, it feels like, by reading their Twitter feeds and stuff like that.
You're saying that in general too, not just Batman.
Yeah, I mean in general. And I think like, man, we're fans of these characters, and like when you're a kid, I feel like you want to emulate, and as an adult, you become. I don't know what switches in your brain, and so what I would love is for people to get back to that emulation of their characters, and not even just Batman, but since it's Batman Day, like one thing I love about Batman's stories is as he confronts adversaries and he deals with even people as sick as the Joker, to even the low level like thief or criminal, there's always that part of rehabilitation. And I love in a story where you see the guy Batman like caught, and then, you know, at the end of the story, the guy's like, you know, security guard at like Wayne Enterprises or something. Like there's always this, like, he cares, you know, like even though he may have thrashed the guy, you know, 2 nights earlier, there really is this like unending, like, hey, there's a way for these guys to recover, you know, even if it's like the Joker's never going to recover. But I think that's his end goal. He wants that. Yeah. And he believes so much in this, like, you know, people can change.
Well, one of the main themes for Batman, and that's an argumentative point with the movies, but we're not going there right now, is the fact that he doesn't kill people. So that alone right there, he's basically, you know,
don't kill anybody tomorrow.
But I'm saying, like, that whole process of someone like who does what he does yet doesn't kill people, he believes that they're redeemable. Right? That right there says he believes they're redeemable. Exactly. So
sure.
Yeah. 100%. And I think it gets down to redemption, but it also, you got to put work into it. And of course, we're not all, you know, billionaire philanthropists, right?
Not yet.
We don't have access to this. I'm just going to make a foundation where it'll be a place where people can go to learn the skills they need today, you know? But I think we can take, like Rick, you're doing with your girls, like doing stuff like that. It matters. And there's going to be one person that is affected by, you know, the generosity of, you know, what you can put out, just as, you know, a parent taking his 2 girls out to do something awesome, and doing it in the spirit of Batman is fun. So I think there's just people across our country. If you look on Instagram, and it's big on Instagram. If you are on Instagram, there's a lot of guys out there that dress up as Batman in their cities, and they're known as, you know, the Charlottesville Batman, or, you know, Chicago Batman. And they do these things. They dress up as Batman, and they're out in their city and they're doing stuff. They're hanging out at the hospitals. They're hanging out with kids. They're doing something special. And even on that side, like they're giving of their time. Sometimes it's just time.
Right.
Hey man, I don't got any money. Well, you have time. You have like an hour, 2 hours, like a month to go and help somebody. And, you know, how can people do that? I'm just trying to think, like, what are some ways that we could point people to, you know,
I've seen so much stuff online, and there's a gentleman, I wish I could remember his name, where is that? And he's a police officer, and it's not just Batman. He has all sorts of costumes, Spider-Man, I believe Iron Man, etc., Superman. And he takes money out of his own pocket for this. And listen, I was raised by a cop. I know these guys, taking money out of your own pocket as a cop is like taking money out of your own pocket as a teacher. I mean, that's a very serious contribution to society because of the commitment behind that. And, you know, they are very underpaid in my view. So, but I don't remember exactly where he's at, but that person is everywhere. And Eric, you were saying off mic that you know of a specific police officer. So was it a cop?
Yes,
correct?
It is a police officer. He actually is in Fort Worth. His name is Damon Cole, and he does a lot of work with children who have cancer. He goes to cancer hospitals and on children's hospitals, and he goes there and dresses up at whatever their favorite character is. It's not exactly Batman all the time, although he does do Batman. I mean, he even has pictures with him in a Batmobile. I mean, this guy goes all out. But it's great to see. I mean, like you said, he's a police officer. I don't know how much money he makes. I wouldn't even venture a guess. But he gives his time. He goes all over the country. And I follow him on Twitter, and I always make sure to see what he's up to and see what he's doing. But someone like that, man, that embodies Batman.
And he's in Fort Worth. That's 45 minutes from my house. I need to. That might actually be who I'm thinking about, because I can't remember if I'm seeing the news footage. If it's local, it was more something on like CNN or something like that on a national network. So, what's his name again?
Damon Cole.
Damon Cole. I'm going to write that down. I mean, what an inspiration. And you're right. It doesn't necessarily have to be Batman per se, but anything. Look, if you're dressing up like Spider-Man and you're going into a hospital, a children's hospital, and you're making kids that have cancer and other horrible diseases, and you're there and you brighten their day for just a few minutes. I don't care if you're dressed as Spider-Man, you're still doing something Batman. That is something bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all just about the motive behind it and what you're getting out of it. That's a beautiful thing. And I tell you guys, that I don't know if you guys have ever been exposed to hospitals where young kids are sick, but it's not a fun place to be.
I have.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I worked in a hospital when I was in college, and there was a children's wing to the hospital. So yeah, I have firsthand experience with that, and it's very sad. You know, it's sad when it's anybody, but with kids, it's 20 times worse. So it takes a special kind of person to be able to go in front of those kids and just act like everything's fine. Because your heart immediately goes out to them, and you're usually put in a state of sadness yourself. So having to overcome that and just go and be happy and try and make the kids feel good about their life, really, really, really hard. So I admire the people who can do that.
Yeah, I've done it myself. Personally, I've gone to cancer wards out here. There's been some kids. It's funny. It started. I have like a Batman suit, and there is a boy at our church, and he just said, "Yeah, for my birthday, I want Batman to come." And so somebody said, "Hey, man, like Danny wants Batman to come to his party," and I was like, "Oh, wow!" And I was like, "Okay," but he said his party is going to be at the hospital because he can't. He couldn't leave. That's where and so I was like, oh man. So I went, and man, it was an emotional time, but it was an absolute blast. And that kid was like, what? And then it wasn't just him, it was every kid that was there.
Yeah.
Like from little, even to some of the older kids that are like, they know I'm not Batman, but don't tell anybody. But they were just like, Batman's here. And it blew their minds, and it made them feel so special. And the nurses are crying. Because they're like, you don't know, like this kid he probably doesn't have long, and they're you're walking kids around in the corridors of the hospital, let them in a wagon as Batman.
Yeah.
And you think how ridiculous does this look, but it makes their day.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, life's a series of moments, right? And and that moment in time, you brighten that kid's day, whether he had a day to live or 10 years or whatever. It's still awesome.
Yeah. One of my favorite stories is there was a boy who he was really sick, and he had a birthday party, and they did it in a like an airplane, this old airplane. There's an Air Force base out here, and they had an airplane. And my friend, she's like, "Hey, could you dress up as Batman for his birthday party?" And I'm like, "Yeah, and dude, it's August, it's hot as balls, So you have, and you're like, I'm gonna put the black makeup on, it's running in your eyes, you can't see, and like, I have a buddy, he's dressed up as the Joker, he's in the cockpit waiting, and then we do this whole like routine where the Joker's still a present, and then the kids are crying, and Batman comes, and there's a fight, right? So, dude, fast forward 3 years later, I see this kid at a birthday party, and he's like doing well. And we're talking, and we're just drawing pictures. He doesn't know who the crap I am. And he's like, "Oh, you drew a picture of Batman." He's all, "Batman was at my birthday party one time." And I about like, "Oh, dude, no way."
Yeah.
Oh, man. And it was like, and I'm like, he's like, at that point, he's like 8 years old. And he's all, "Batman was at my party." And I'm like, it was worth it.
Yeah.
It was worth it.
Totally.
It was worth sweating and crying with black makeup on, just so that kid had this memory that he'll always have.
That's awesome.
Batman punching the Joker on a plane.
That is, look, I used to dress up as I had a Michael Keaton Batman '89 costume. I wore it to costume parties, but I have 3 nephews. My sister has 3 boys, and all 3 of them, when they were little, I would, for at least 2 or 3 birthdays, I dressed up as Batman and went to their birthday parties, and those kids just ate it up. Oh my God. They loved. And then as I was going to the youngest one, well, the oldest one was now at that point old and like, dude, that's Uncle Rick, whatever. He did that for my birthday. But the kids that didn't know that and just thought I was Batman, it just made their, and then think about doing that at a hospital where kids are sick. Yeah. That's just even 10,000 times more special. Seeing kids light up happy, whether they're healthy or sick, is a beautiful thing anyway, but talking about really helping kids out that are in need. And this cop in Fort Worth, Eric, so what all does he do? He goes to like Children's Hospital and things like that. I know, but is he part of like any specific charities as well that you know of?
I'm not sure actually if he's part of any specific charities. I just know it's something that he does. Right. Let's see.
Well, no, I was just wondering off the top of your head. I mean, I'm gonna reach out to him myself. And
Yeah,
follow him.
I've tried to reach out to him a couple of times on Twitter. Probably not the best way to go about it. Is probably could try and find out more personal, an email or something where I could reach out to him, because I just wanted to like tell him, dude, I think it's great what you're doing, and as a fan of these characters myself, you know, and I just think it's awesome. So keep on doing what you're doing, just to give like encouragement, because that, like I said, he doesn't just do it in Dallas. He goes all over the country, and goes to these hospitals with the sick kids. So yeah, Damon Cole, that's his name.
Yeah. I'm looking at it.
He actually, it's funny. There was a story about that guy where he busted Lego shoplifters or something.
Oh, that's right. It was a DVD. Right?
Yeah,
And
he was dressed as Batman.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was at a Walmart, and it was like a Batman. He was there as a kid day thing. He's the guy who busted a guy who's stealing Batman.
And they took like
DVDs, right? Or something.
And they posed and took pictures together.
Oh my gosh.
I'm Googling that right now.
Yeah,
so
that's funny.
So yeah, here's the tweet. Officer Damon Cole, Heroes and Cops, at Heroes and Cops. That's his Twitter handle. Follow him there. I will as well. I was at Walmart as Batman for Kids Day. This male attempted to steal 4 DVDs. I stopped him as Batman. Then he asked me for a selfie. That's so amazing. And he's got these pictures of him and this guy. He's got his face blacked out. The criminal. Still, again, there is. Look at that redemption, right? Coming full circle.
Yeah, that's great. There's the Arkansas Batman, or I don't know what his name is. I follow him on Instagram, and he's pretty great too. It's just, I think they even have like an Arkansas Robin now,
that's
or Boy
awesome.
Wonder or something. So it's growing, and they're doing fun stuff, man. And so I don't know if you guys heard of the guy. Do you remember there was this a documentary came out, I think in 2015, and it was called Legends of the Night, and produced by this guy Brett Culp. And actually, there's connections to Batman on Film, because Josh Costello was one of the producers on that, and he used to be on the show here years ago, and still part of the, I guess the Batman line lineage, Batman on Film lineage, and so he helped produce that. And if you go to it's available at wearebatman.com. I think it might be on Netflix too. I remember watching it on there. But that thing just kind of covered a whole bunch of different people who were, inspired by Batman and doing Batman things, and it's a great documentary. I think it even has I don't know, Bat Kids on there. I don't know if you guys remember Bat.
Oh, Bat Kid.
It's such a great documentary. If you guys can watch it, it'll melt your heart. But in the documentary, it has the Baltimore Batman. His name was Leonard Robinson, and he was like a 50-something-year-old guy dressing up as Batman, going to the hospital, do the things we were all talking about. But unfortunately, he died. He was hit fixing his Batmobile on the I-70 out that way, and so, but he was leading an event he went to, and just had me thinking, like, this guy like gave everything, to make kids happy. I mean, to go out and build a Batmobile, man, like, you have the resources. I mean, this guy really was doing it. And just in the spirit of that, I think that's kind of what got me going as I was thinking about a Batman Day episode. Like, man, this guy, he just went out there and wanted to make it better for, not just kids. I think for people, because what, we think about the kids, but even the grownups get a kick out of it. Like, hey, Batman, let me get a picture. I've taken as many pictures with adults than kids at, some of these events, and they love it, man. And so it does make people happy, and going out there, and it's not hard to,
well, of course,
make people
if you just go to a Comic-Con, you see a bunch of people dressed up, and they, like, they do that to make, because they like the characters, but they do it for the, to make other people happy, I'm sure. So.
Oh yeah. And so, in the spirit of that, one of the things that we've talked about, we've had some BOF meetings, is this holiday season, we want to maybe team up with some of these Batmans. So, as you guys are talking about this Fort Worth Batman, and we're talking about Baltimore Batman, we're going to reach out to some of these guys and see if there's some way. I don't know how we're going to do it. Maybe someone who's very good at logistics and planning can hit us up. We want to be able to help others for holiday season, and maybe, get some money so we can buy some gifts, and then maybe have some Batmans give some gifts to some kids.
Well, I do know one that we have within the Batman on Film group, Paul Miller. You guys know Paul.
Good.
He dresses up like Batman and goes to
yeah,
schools and things like that for kids. I know that for a fact. So I'm sure we could get him to do that. I'm putting him on the spot now, so when he hears this, he's
Well, no.
it's on a show now. Paul's got to do it.
You're stuck, dude. But no, the fact that he does it, obviously, I don't think it's going to be
Right.
something he'd have an issue with.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I've seen the pictures, and they're just full of joy.
Yeah. So if there's more out there, if you're listening, if you're like, hey man, I'm a Batman, hit us up because we would love to organize something, make a kind of a movement, you know. Yeah. Let me see. There's Paul doesn't have anything.
he had him on Twitter for a while.
So
I don't know if he has on his Instagram, but
Oh, I guess I need to get active on Instagram. You guys keep referencing it. I have an account. I just never use it. I think I tweet.
It's great for pictures. It's really great for pictures.
Yeah, it's great for pictures and doing stuff like that. So, so we're gonna try and organize that. So just start thinking, pay attention to Batman on Film, and as we move forward towards the holidays, we'd like to get the ball rolling as soon as possible. Because guess what? It's October in about 2 weeks.
It's
which means Merry Christmas, everybody.
On the corner, man. We need to start planning this stuff yesterday.
Yeah. So we'd love to do something. It was great 2 years ago. That same boy Danny I talked about when I visited him, we actually raised Batman on Film was able to raise over. I think we almost raised $4,000. I don't know if you guys remember that for this kid through donations and stuff.
I remember that.
Or we were at least part of it. I mean,
right.
There was a lot. I know from doing the show, doing this show, and then doing Holy Batcast, we were able to talk about it, and we raised a significant amount of money. And we bought so many toys, man, to give out to those kids. So much that when this boy Danny, the next year he was clean, awesome. And he raised money again.
That's awesome
for other kids.
That's so great.
You know,
yeah, it was really crazy, man.
I know I'm brainstorming here on a show, but I don't care. You know, we could go like here in Dallas. I go to the Scottish Rite, which is like where miracles take place. By the way, that place is amazing. Just Google Scottish Rite Dallas, and you'll know what I'm talking about. They are miracle workers there. Or go to Children's Hospital, the one here in Plano, the one downtown Dallas, whatever, and get with some administrator and let's say, hey, listen, we want to do something for kids. They will know the children that are sick, and they can't reveal any information, but they could certainly find out the ones that are what's the word I'm looking for here? Not necessarily from families with money, and could use some extra help. And if there's some kind of way to tap into that. And then because those are the kids I think we'd want to target the most. I would think at first. It doesn't really matter. I mean, any of the kids will do.
Yeah, to be honest, I mean, any kid in a hospital.
Well, this is true. If they're sick, they're sick. It doesn't matter what their parents make a year.
Yeah, I'm
just thinking of kids that don't get gifts.
Yeah,
that's all.
It's all in the same bucket, man.
Yeah.
Like just
look, making them smile. It doesn't matter if they're from a family of a multimillionaire or they're destitute. I'm talking about just kids that maybe can't get presents.
Man, a smile is free, dude.
Smile's free.
We'd love to be able to. Yeah, we'd love to be able to help out anyway. So, so Batman on Film.
We'll brainstorm some more off the mic.
Yeah, all of our BOFers out there. I mean, if you want to be a part of this, please, we'd love for you to do it. And you know what? Spread it. You know, it doesn't have to be just connected to Batman on Film. We'd love for you to, share it with other shows and stuff like that. We'll try to figure out a way to make it liquid so we can, share it all over, because it would be great as if we can all, unite as like podcasters and people on Twitter to like, let's do something good. If we're going back to the whole hero thing, if we're going to claim like these heroes are our favorite, let's be inspired by them. Let's do something awesome, like in the name of Batman. Let's now be like Batman. Like
just like all those groups, and Comic Book Debate was one of them, to give them a shout out, that organized showings, screenings of Black Panther for, that was remarkable. Now let's take that a step further. If they can do that, then we can organize something that's helping kids in need.
It's not hard. And that's what we should be doing, man. All the energy put into arguing and things like that. Let's put energy into something that helps people. And so I think that would be amazing. I think it could be something really great.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So that's, and that's really it. There's nothing else. Go have a great Batman day. We don't need to be sitting on a podcast all day listening to it.
What are you doing with your boys tomorrow?
Well, now you ruined the effect. Today, you mean, Rick? It's today. We're recording the day before Batman Day. tomorrow, me and the boy, we will be watching some Batman cartoons since the DC Universe app launches. Actually, it launched yesterday. It was supposed to launch tomorrow, but they just put it out yesterday. So we're going to be watching some Batman the Animated Series. We're going to go check out the comic stores. They got their Batman shirts lined up. It's sad for me. This is the first year they don't want to dress up. They're like, yeah, we're just going to wear Batman shirts. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, okay. I'm a little sad. I'm like, oh, I thought you guys would dress up this year. So we'll check out all the comic stores. This is kind of terrible of me, but I like going to the Barnes and Noble because they always do a trivia and they give out gifts and everyone doesn't know anything. And so I always win. And it's not like I'm going against kids. FYI, there's a kids trivia and then there's an adult trivia. And I just, I'm like, you don't know nothing about Batman. And I just, dude, man, last year I cleaned up, dude. I was like, come on now. There was a guy who worked on, sorry, Rick, Batman Returns. He was there and he had like stuff from 1992. He had all these really cool prizes.
I bet that was cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
To like the movie to know that that's cool. It's still Batman.
He had a bag of black goo he was giving out. It was great. No,
did he drive off in a duck and get awesome. Drive through in it?
Oh gosh, dude! If I can drive a duck on Batman Day, I would lose my mind. I would drive to Jersey and pick up Pete. We would just have a great time.
Hey, that was a deep cut. I got a little Batman Forever in there too. What up?
Well, there you go. Yeah, I'll get drive through. There you go. Hey, just keep driving through all the movies. So yeah, we're gonna do that and hang out and
cool.
I'll see if I can even get my wife involved into it. Like, come on, babe, let's watch a movie. And so, problem is, we watch Batman movies like all the time, and we just watched like Batman '89 like a week or two ago. So, anyways,
nothing wrong with some Batman '89, sir. It's
nothing wrong. I mean, you know what? But I am
good for the soul.
I'm making. I'll make Batman pancakes too, and I'll
have a mold?
Put those on Instagram and I'll
just
put it on Twitter.
Just wing it.
Huh? Oh, well, I don't have a mold. I'll just wing it. I don't have a mold, man. But I did make sorry, this isn't Batman, but I made Ninja Turtle pancakes for my boy one year when he wanted Ninja Turtle pancakes and with food coloring and stuff. So it's really fun. You what you do is you just get like, I don't know, some type of container. I forget. They're almost like they're almost like ketchup bottles, but they're clear. And you put your batter in there and you put a little food coloring in it and you basically draw it.
Yeah.
And you got to do it pretty quick. You have to keep the heat real low. Do it pretty quick. You can look online. I saw this guy. He did like, Captain America and stuff. Anyways, you draw it up and then you flip it and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so I saw that. They like brown it a certain way for a certain amount of time and you break out the eyes and the mouth. And I saw that. I've seen that.
Yeah. So they can get kind of crude, but that's what's going on tomorrow at my house. So come on over for some Batman themed pancakes.
I'd love to. Just logistics problem. That's all.
That's a long, right? Come on, long fly,
dude. You're not committed.
No,
to Batman
I
Day,
will.
Dude.
No, I will be working out tomorrow morning, lifting weights.
You get to JFK, then you get to LAX.
Exactly. No, that's true.
Hey, we can have pancakes for dinner, dude. So yeah, so there we go. All right, man. Well, this was if anyone doesn't have anything else to add, this was just our quick little fun Batman Day episode. We hope that you guys have a great day. Eric, you got anything
I will
to plug,
be on this coming Sunday. I will be on this show called Under the Radar. It's a movie review show where I will be reviewing this new movie called Science Fair, which I told you about. Go check it out. Very good movie. And the Predator movie. So that will be on strongisland.com.
Oh, nice.
So if you want to check it out, you can check it out on strongisland.com. Yes. And you can follow me on Twitter at FinalE33.
Yeah. And hold up. Eric also is reviewing Suicide Squad.
I will be reviewing the most recent version of it. Yes.
the recent issue.
Not exactly the newest,
but
the most recent one.
Come on, man. Not. Yeah. No.
Yeah. Stuff happens.
Sometimes things happen. So I wasn't trying to throw you under the bus. I was like, hey, man. Like,
well, yes,
there is something you do for Batman.
There's two that I've already reviewed. I wrote. There's two I've already viewed up on the site.
Yeah.
I am actually working on an article that I'm going to put up as well about is the cinematic Superman dead?
Yep.
And we'll be throwing that out there.
Gotcha. Ooh,
yes,
that'll be good. That's going to be a good article, man. Because here's the thing. Here's the truth about Eric. Eric is probably one of the most level-headed fans out there. You get Rick, who's always causing problems, but then you got Eric, who's like, "Hey, man, like, let's just be cool about this."
He's
I appreciate
level-headed
it.
when he agrees with you.
Which
That's your definition.
Well,
That's your definition of level-headed. Let's face it.
You're probably right.
And let's face it,
That's why I like
that's
Eric.
probably really what all of us mean when we say stuff like that. That guy's very easy to get along with.
You're extremely level-headed. I love that guy.
I'm just
that
more
is.
liberal in my acceptance of
That's
certain
fair.
things in this comic book world.
Yeah, but then you're going on my personal Facebook page telling everybody that Batman can be anything as long as he's in a Batman suit. I mean, you're causing all kinds of problems over there. Getting my buddies all worked up. What's wrong with you?
That's what
Yeah,
I
but
mean.
Batman's the most malleable of characters, so he.
Well, he
Right.
was specifically talking
Yeah.
about Superman in this particular one, but you're right.
Yeah.
We can have BBS warehouse scene, and we're gonna have Lego Batman that I'm gonna watch tomorrow.
Yeah, we can have Batman in a discotheque eating orange juice.
Yeah, this is true. This much is
So
true.
there we go. Oh, all right, Rick. And here's Rick, who does nothing for Batman on film. What you got
Nothing
here?
ever. I'm going to be reviewing Kingdom Come soon, so that's going to be fun. I'm going to,
Yeah.
and I can't wait for us to do our White Knight Batman on film show. That'll be coming up in the next few weeks.
Whenever the hardcover
Yeah,
comes
so
out, I think it comes out.
So sometime in October, maybe early November at the very latest. I'm ready to fire up some more Star Wars conversations. I can't lie, I'm jonesing a little bit. I hadn't even talked about like some Episode 9 news that'll be coming up. Bill and I have a new vlog up, going around circles about the Henry Cavill stuff. If you're interested, and I really want to plug a Let's Go podcast. If you're like some old school rock and roll, I had so much fun with Justin talking Guns N' Roses. Just what is that episode number? Do you know off the top of your head, Justin?
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
you're gonna
it
make- you're gonna
doesn't
make
matter.
me
Just
look.
Google Let's Go.
Yeah.
Rick and
it's
Justin,
probably
Guns N'
like-
Roses. You can find it easily. It's a fun show. And follow me on Twitter, Shew Rick, SHEWRICK. And Justin thinks you're level headed. If you agree with him, that's all I have.
There you go. And you can follow me on Twitter at J_Rocka. And if you are interested in any of those Let's Go things, just go to letsgopodcast.com and you can check out the shows there. So that being said, Batman on film, authoritative, definitive, the original. Thank you for listening. Please head on over to the iTunes podcast store and leave us a 5-star review with some awesome comments. And we're going to start reading those. And you know what? You may win a special prize. So you may want to head over to right now and start
Am I
filling
eligible?
out some reviews because we're going to surprise you. Eric, if you haven't written a review,
All right.
you are eligible. So the drawings are done by fate. So
I'm just going to tell you right now, this one is getting a great
If you
review.
are the recipient. Yes. So go review the podcast, share it with your friends, and see you next time.
Hey now! You've been listening to the Batman on Film podcast, a proud member and the sponsor of the Batman Podcast Network, BatmanPodcastNetwork.com. You can listen to the BOF podcast on iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, TuneIn, and wherever good podcasts like this one can be found. Want to advertise on the BOF podcast? Go to advertisecast.com/the Batman on Film podcast. Follow Jet on Twitter at Batman on Film and on BOF's Facebook fan page at facebook.com/jet.batmanonfilm. Email Jet via jet@batman-on-film.com. For Jet, Rick, Justin, and Ryan, I'm announcer Rachel. Thanks for listening.